They called her a failure long before she ever had the chance to prove them wrong. It started quietly. The whispers in classrooms, the doubtful looks from teachers, the relatives who spoke in soft, pitying tones as if her future had already been decided. She wasn't the top student. She wasn't the loudest voice in the room. She didn't shine in the ways the world seemed to reward. And slowly, those voices became her own. You're not good enough. You'll never make it. People like you don't succeed. She carried those words like invisible weight on her shoulders. Every failed test, every rejection, every mistake felt like proof that they were right. At home, things weren't much easier. Her family struggled financially. Opportunities were limited. Dreams felt like luxuries meant for other people. People with connections, confidence, and resources she didn't have. But deep down, there was something else too. A quiet voice. Not loud like the critics, not forceful, just persistent. What if they're wrong? She didn't know where that voice came from. Maybe it was hope, maybe it was stubbornness, or maybe it was something stronger, something that refused to let her give up on herself completely. Still, life didn't magically turn around. She faced rejection after rejection. She applied for jobs and heard nothing back. When she did get interviews, she felt invisible sitting across from confident candidates who seemed to have everything figured out. Once, after a particularly crushing rejection, she sat alone in her room and stared at the email. "We regret to inform you." Those words felt heavier than ever. That night, she cried, not just because of that one rejection, but because of everything it represented. The years of doubt, the constant feeling of falling behind, the fear that maybe, just maybe, she really wasn't meant for anything more. But something shifted in that moment. Instead of letting that pain break her, she sat with it. She asked herself a question she had avoided for years. If no one believed in me, could I still believe in myself? It wasn't an easy question, and the answer didn't come instantly. But the next morning, she made a decision. She would stop waiting for someone else to validate her worth. She would start building it, slowly, painfully, imperfectly. She began learning new skills. Late at night, after long days when everyone else was asleep, she watched tutorials, read books, practiced relentlessly. There was no applause, no recognition, just effort. At first, it felt pointless. Progress was slow. Mistakes were constant. But she kept going, because for the first time she wasn't trying to prove others wrong. She was trying to prove herself right. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. She took small opportunities. Freelance work, side projects, anything that gave her a chance to grow. Some clients didn't take her seriously. Some underpaid her. Some didn't even pay at all. But each experience taught her something. How to communicate. How to negotiate. How to lead. How to fail and keep moving anyway. There were moments she wanted to quit. Moments where the old voices came back louder than ever. See? This isn't working. You're wasting your time. You should just give up. And sometimes, she almost did. But that quiet voice inside her? It never disappeared. It reminded her of every small win, every skill she had built, every time she didn't give up. And slowly, something incredible began to happen. People started noticing. At first, just a few. A client who appreciated her work, a mentor who saw potential in her, a colleague who respected her dedication. It wasn't massive success, but it was enough to keep going. Then came the opportunity that changed everything. A project, bigger than anything she had handled before. High stakes, high pressure, the kind of opportunity she once believed she wasn't qualified for. Her first instinct. Fear. What if I fail? What if they realize I'm not good enough? But then, she remembered something. She had felt this way before. Every step of her journey had felt like this. And yet, she was still here. So she said yes. Not because she was confident, but because she was brave enough to try. That decision would change her life forever. The project wasn't easy. In fact, it was the hardest thing she had ever taken on. Long nights turned into sleepless ones. Problems appeared faster than solutions. Deadlines felt impossible. And the pressure? It was constant. There were moments she thought she had made a mistake, moments where quitting felt like relief. But she didn't quit. Instead, she leaned into everything she had learned. She asked for help when she needed it, something the old version of her was too afraid to do. She adapted quickly. She stayed focused, and most importantly, she refused to let fear control her decisions. One day at a time, she pushed forward, and then something remarkable happened. The project succeeded. Not just succeeded, it exceeded expectations. Clients were impressed. Results spoke louder than any doubt ever had. And for the first time, people weren't whispering about her failures. They were talking about her success. Opportunities started coming in. Bigger projects, better clients, new partnerships. The same people who once overlooked her were now paying attention. But here's the truth. No one saw. She still felt like that same girl sometimes. The one who doubted herself. The one who heard those voices. The difference? She no longer listened to them. Instead, she built something even stronger than confidence. She built belief. And with that belief, she made another bold decision. She started her own company. No safety net, no guarantees, just a vision, and the courage to pursue it. The early days were tough. There were financial risks, uncertain outcomes, days where nothing seemed to go right, but she had been here before. She knew what it meant to start from nothing. She knew how to keep going, so she did. Step by step. Day by day. Year by year. Her company grew, not overnight, not magically, but steadily, intentionally, powerfully. She built a team. She created opportunities, not just for herself, but for others who felt overlooked, underestimated, and undervalued, just like she once was. And then one day, it happened. She walked into a room where people stood up when she entered, not because they felt sorry for her, not because they doubted her, but because they respected her. She wasn't the girl they called a failure anymore. She was the CEO. But the title wasn't the most powerful part of her story. The most powerful part? She never became someone else. She didn't magically turn into a different person. She simply became the version of herself she had always been capable of being. The one who kept going. The one who believed, even when it was hard. The one who didn't let the world define her limits. And that's the truth most people don't realize. Success isn't about never failing. It's about refusing to let failure be the final chapter. So, if you're sitting there right now, feeling like you're behind, like people don't believe in you, like maybe you're not enough, remember her story, because she started exactly where you are. Doubtful, uncertain, overlooked, and she still made it. Not because she was special, but because she didn't stop. So, the real question is, will you? If this story moved you even a little, don't ignore that feeling. Take one step today, no matter how small, toward the life you want. And if you believe in becoming more than what others expect from you, subscribe, follow, and stay connected. Because your story, it's just getting started.